Hi, I'm Kimberly Fiorello, candidate for state representative in Greenwich and Stamford. Running for office is basically a weeks-long interview process with the voting public. I'm getting to know you at meet and greets and knocking on your door, and I hope you can get to know a bit about me and my American story through this video. My grandfather on my father's side was the deputy chairman of the Economic Planning Board and the first representative to the World Bank from the new country of South Korea. My grandfather's photo is in the JFK archives of him at the Oval Office with President Kennedy. He's the handsome gentleman underneath the sailing photo. My grandmother on my mother's side comes from North Korea. She was urged by her family to get out. She thought one day she would be reunited with them, but she never was. My grandmother escaped Chinese communism. She earned a scholarship to a Christian college in Illinois, and that's how she got to America. My mother and father have their own stories to tell about their journeys in America, and here's mine. I am a second-generation Korean American who was born abroad as an American citizen. My first 10 years was spent in Korea, and to this day I am fluent in Korean. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. I grew up in Reston, Virginia, where my dad worked at the Pentagon as a civilian and my mother owned a coffee shop. My brother and I spent many hours of our youth wrapping bagels and muffins that my mother sold at her shop. And in high school, I was a cheerleader. After high school, I went to West Point, wanting to be an athlete, a student, a soldier, and follow the creed of duty, honor, country. I still remember fondly being recognized into the Corps of Cadets, where I was no longer New Cadet Song, but Cadet Song. It's quite a feeling. And it was in my yuck year at West Point that I became curious about what else was out there. I transfer applied to Harvard, and upon acceptance, I went there and studied economics. My first job out of school was at Salomon Brothers in the analyst training program. My next job was as a reporter for the Far Eastern Economic Review and the Wall Street Journal in the Hong Kong Bureau. One of my favorite stories was covering the rediscovery of the Cheonggyecheon River in Seoul. And my last job was as a line chef at Valse Restaurant in New York City. My work experience is broad, and they all have in common that it's work that kept me on my feet for long hours, working closely with people under pressure to get the number and facts right, to meet deadlines, to pay attention to details, and to keep the customer happy. Today, I am a mother of 4 beautiful children, and I volunteered at their schools, at the Greenwich Historical Society in my town, and at my church, Grace Church of Greenwich. And I have been twice elected to the Greenwich Representative Town Meeting. It was while running my household and maybe watching too much Shark Tank that I invented a high quality, crystal clear storage pouch that I could not find anywhere on the market. I patented my idea, and thanks to a good friend, my bag is now being made in Connecticut and sold online as zipped bags. All the while in our country, our culture is moving towards intolerance of diverse views, and I have felt more compelled to want to speak out to advance what is so wonderful about America and about being American, and to speak out to defend individual liberty and personal responsibility and the proper role of government. And to this end, I helped found the Charter Oak Leadership Program, a Connecticut-based nonprofit that advances the core principles of our country and free market enterprise. And the people that I have met across our state through the Charter Oak Leadership Program gives me great hope for the future of Connecticut There are so many wonderful people who are dear friends now. And this all brings me to this moment now, where I am making this video to tell you about my American life as I seek to earn your trust and your vote to represent you in Hartford. I am a candidate for both the Republican and the Independent parties. As your representative in Hartford, I will have two objectives: to stop bad legislation that infringes on our individual liberties and increase the cost of living in Connecticut, and two, to advance legislation that increases transparency and accountability, so we can be sure that our state government is truly serving the people and respecting our dollar, so we can be free to succeed and to live our own unique, valued, special American stories in the great state of Connecticut. I will make more videos about policy, but this video is about my roots. Thank you so much for watching.